Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It's Sita, and today I will be talking to a very special person. Her name is Liana Solomon, and she's an expert in writing CVs in English. So please introduce yourself. You can see here, this is Liana.
Thank,
Say a few words to our audience.
thank you so much for having me, Sita. So my name is Liana Solomon. I help people with improving their CV and their LinkedIn profile so that they can essentially find the job that they're dreaming about, looking for, hoping to get. I also teach English online and help people with job preparation, amongst other things.
Very, very
Nice to
nice.
be here.
It's nice to see you here. So, do you think this situation right now that we have with all this coronavirus, is it the right timing? What do you say about this?
I think people have a lot of time now that they usually don't have. They're sitting at home. When else do you have time to work on your CV or your LinkedIn? You have the time now. It's the perfect time to sharpen the saw, to improve. Because I think, first of all, a lot of companies still are hiring. If you go to different job boards, you'll
Hmm.
see that. I just did that yesterday. A lot of jobs are posted every few minutes. There's new jobs all the time. So it really depends on the industry.
Yeah.
And once this is all over, I think companies will be hiring like crazy. And you want to be ready for that time.
Absolutely.
You
I
want to
think
be ready.
I really believe in this also, that this is the perfect timing to be in a cocoon and prepare yourselves for what's coming afterwards. So, what industries you think need a CV in English? Which industries you would mention?
Any position that requires work in a global environment. So it can be a high-tech company. It could be a position in sales where you speak to clients abroad. It can be logistics. It can be financial services. A lot of executive level positions as well. I have a lot of experience helping people who are COOs, CEOs, CMOs improve their CV so they can get the next opportunity that they're looking for. Um, and LinkedIn is good for a lot of people. Even if you don't work in English so much, it really opens up a lot of opportunities for you. A lot of jobs nowadays are posted on LinkedIn. So I
Yeah.
would really, really recommend most people have, most professionals have a LinkedIn profile, and definitely entrepreneurs, 100%.
Absolutely, absolutely. I found my yoga teachers, they are on LinkedIn.
Really?
Okay, therapists, yes, therapists. People who are not, as we consider, like, the professionals, like finance and so on and so on. Everybody has a LinkedIn profile. It's a really professional platform.
And
So tell me,
I think LinkedIn now is really booming, especially in Israel. I think I've had a LinkedIn profile for like at least 10 years,
mhm,
but nowadays everybody's like, oh, I should get a LinkedIn. I should get a LinkedIn. It's something that's very hot right now, so it's really recommended to have it.
absolutely. Tell me, what do you think is the number one thing that anybody and everybody should improve when it comes to their CVs in English? Talk about the average CV a little bit.
I think the first thing should be how relevant is your CV or your LinkedIn profile to the opportunity you're looking for. So it's
Mhm.
very important to go through the job description point by point and try to match your CV to what the company is looking for. I would say that was the most important thing. You have to look at the job titles that you have. Like, for example, I've worked a lot in digital marketing. For my digital marketing job, I can write, let's say I'm looking for a project management position, and I have experience in digital marketing. So as part of my digital marketing, I did project management, right? So I can put in digital marketer or internet marketer or specialist or something like that, or I can put project manager in the digital marketing space.
So
That
you
sounds
rephrase it. You rephrase the
exactly.
according to the job description, according to what they're looking for. You rephrase your abilities, your skills, your experience, and you emphasize what
Exactly.
you need for that job.
Exactly. And that's something that I can really help people to do. Also, we have to look at your summary at the top. How
Mhm.
relevant is it to the position? So that's really, really important to make sure it's relevant. so that the recruiter, when he or she is looking at your CV or profile, they say to themselves, wow, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Tell me, what 5 common mistakes you think people make on their CVs? What are the
That's a
general
good question.
mistakes that you see all the time? Yeah.
Yeah, good question. I think the number one common mistake is bad formatting, different colors that don't go together, or fonts that just don't make sense, spacing, the period is not in the right place. It's the alignment, especially when you have Hebrew, English mixed together. That's a really big one. I think recruiters, when they see a CV that's not formatted well, it's
Mm-hmm.
just a big no. It's just a big no. It
Mm-hmm.
just shows you're not
A big mass.
professional.
Yeah, it's a big mass.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the number two thing would be, how good is the English? If it's an English CV or a LinkedIn profile, the English has to be 100%. The grammar, the punctuation. So you can't just take your Hebrew CV and put it through Google Translate and
Absolutely.
and maybe just correct a few things. It's just not going to be okay. So you need somebody professional who's a native English speaker to take a look, improve it, make sure everything sounds not translated, but actually sounds American or British or whatever it is.
Do you think it should be sentences or more bullet points in the CV itself when you're like describing your responsibilities and so on and so on? What do you think about that?
I think it doesn't matter too much. I personally like to have the summary in a paragraph form,
Mm-hmm.
and then the descriptions in bullets, and make sure not to have too many bullets. Like, many people, they're very excited about their work, so they want to tell people everything they're doing, and that's not required. You're going to have the interview to do that. You just need to point out a few key points, 3 to 5 key points for your recent positions,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe 1 or 2 points for your position that are like 5 years earlier or so on.
This
um,
is an important issue with these 5 years because in the latest trends, we say that you shouldn't write anything on your CV which is more than 5 years old. What do you say about that?
It depends if the experience is not related to the
Uh-huh.
current position. So if you were a waitress or some kind of
What you did
assistant,
in
or
the army 20 years ago, yeah?
yeah, maybe you don't have to put it. But if your experience is very, very progressive, so you started at one point and then you moved up the company, each time
Ladder.
you got, yeah, so it makes sense to put it in, no problem. You can even have a 2-page resume if it
Oh, that
makes
was my
sense.
next question. Should it be 1 page or 2 pages?
the, Again, it depends. Usually for executive level positions, a lot of the resumes or CVs are 2 pages. I find that a lot. But if you don't have too much experience and you just have a few positions, there's no reason it should be a 2-page CV.
So you shouldn't write an essay, yeah? It
Yeah.
shouldn't be like, okay, this is who I am, this is like a short story about who I am. What do you say about putting a picture? Do you think it's relevant? It's very trendy also to put some pictures on a CV.
It's a very controversial issue, to be honest. I spoke to different recruiters about this, and some of them say, a lot of them say, most of them, I would say don't put a picture because it allows for discrimination,
Hmm.
especially abroad. In Israel, maybe a little less, but especially abroad, it really, you don't want to be supporting that. Personally, I think that in certain cases you could, if you think it will improve your chances of getting the job.
For
Depends on the
example,
situation.
if you're a model, you have to put up a picture of yourself, yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
I am attaching my book, yeah? Or if you're an actress, for
yeah,
example.
100%. Yeah, yeah. But even in some cases where it's not a artistic type of job, you could add your photo if you think it will improve your chances. If it's a good photo, you look good, you can
Mhm,
do it.
mhm.
But I think it's a little controversial. Each person has to decide for themselves.
I agree. I agree with that. Now you said to add some creative stuff. Yeah. So what do you mean with this by this creative stuff? What kind of creative stuff I can put on my CV?
By creative, you mean design-wise or in general?
Yeah, also design ways. Like what else can I do? It's a piece of paper. How can I make it more attractive? Yeah.
Yeah. So design wise, also, again, it's a little bit controversial as well. Some recruiters say just have text only, no picture, one color. It's easy because they go through hundreds of CVs per day,
Yeah.
and they need to be able to know where everything is located so they can go through it quickly. So if you have like a fancy design and everything is placed in different places, they find it sometimes annoying. This is what I've heard. They're like,
Hmm.
oh, where's the experience? Oh, where's the skills? It's like all over the place, and sometimes the designed documents are hard to read. So if you're applying to a job agency, a deployment agency, you have to make sure, if it's a PDF, that it's text PDF, so it's not an image PDF, so that it can
Yeah.
be searchable for the different keywords. Um, yeah,
What do you
that's
think?
about it.
What do you think should be the structure? Like, should I start? Okay, first on the top, I put the summary, and then there are some questions about should I start first with my last job or my education, or like what should be the order?
hmm I think you should start with your name and maybe some kind of title, headline, that really summarizes you well in just a few words, depending on what job you're applying to. Again, so it could be project manager in some kind of space you can put, or you can put digital marketer in. For these certain types of clients, for example, if you're applying for marketing positions, and after that you have the summary, not too long. Okay, so like 3 to 5 lines is good.
Yeah.
And then if your education is recent, and if your education is very significant to the position you're applying to, then you want to start with the education and then the job experience.
Hmm.
But if the education was like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you can put it at the end after the job description, after the all the jobs.
So first, you should definitely start by the jobs, yeah, putting
Yeah.
down your positions, and then the education. And do you think that we should like add extra skills? Like a lot of times you see skills, okay, Excel, I don't know what. It's like there's like a whole new paragraph to put down their special skills. Do you think it's
Yeah, I think that's really important. So you could have computer skills. A lot of people put in also like soft skills, like I'm a really good, I have great interpersonal skills, and they really take a big chunk of the CV for that section. So I would
Mhm.
really minimize that, because anybody can write they're great at, interpersonal skills, or I'm great at team management or anything like that. So anybody
Yeah.
can say that. So you want to prove it. You want to prove it, with your actual job experience. What did you actually do to prove that you have those
That
skills?
you're a team player, for example, or you have excellent interpersonal skills for that matter. So if I would summarize, if you could give us like a summary of what would you advise people to do when they are creating their CVs in English? How would you summarize it in a few words?
Summarize in a few words. Make sure it's relevant to the position you're applying to. Make sure you have a good summary, well-written summary that really gives people a big picture of who you are. Many times you can really make yourself look better with a good summary. So if somebody's looking at your job experience, they might make certain judgments and say, oh, this person maybe not as experienced or something like that. But if you have a really good intro, a good summary, you can decorate that. You can make that look a lot better and fit it to the position that you're looking for. Make sure it's formatted well. Make sure the English is good. Make sure you're focusing on achievements, on things that you can give the company instead of just these were my responsibilities. um, and make sure you have a cover letter. A lot of people don't send cover letters with their CV, and that's really unfortunate, because a cover letter is a great opportunity to show your personal side, your passion for the profession, give the person some background. I've worked as a self-employed person for a few years, and I've had times when I hired some assistants for different things. And just based on a good cover letter, many times I could decide this is the role
Yes or
for me.
no?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So cover letters are really important. When writing a cover letter, I would really recommend going through the job description and point by point explaining how you meet those requirements. I think that would
Yeah.
be a really good thing to do.
Well, our internet is not really the best, so we are going to wrap it up for today. So this is Liana Solomon, yeah, and you will be able to find her on English Up, and
Yeah.
please feel free to contact her with any kind of questions that you need regarding your CVs. And I would like to invite you next time to talk to us about how to prepare a winning LinkedIn profile. Are you with us?
Yeah, 100%. And just, I'll be sharing this video with my audience as well. So if you can just give us a few words about yourself as well, so people know who you are.
My name is Sita. Nice to meet you. I'm an expert in confidence building in English as a second language. I've been teaching English as a second language for 20 years, and you're welcome to contact me. You know how to find me. I'm sure that Liana is going to put up a link for me also. It was a pleasure to have you with us today. Have a wonderful day and see you soon.
Bye-bye. Thanks for having me. Have a great day. You're from Tel Aviv, right?
I'm from Herzliya.
Oh, Herzliya? Okay.
It's
Okay.
the other side. All right. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.